Hey, what's going on, everybody? I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. Welcome to drboycetv.com, the home for intelligent Black people. My name is Dr. Boyce Watkins, and I have something I wanted to kind of break down and talk about. It had to do with something a lot of you were discussing this week. This guy, Donald Trump, he made a visit to a Chick-fil-A. And I saw a video today where a brother revealed something that was really interesting. He basically showed that the visit to Chick-fil-A, which many people thought was spontaneous, wasn't spontaneous at all. It was basically just sort of almost like a government operation, almost like something that they staged completely. And I'm going to talk about that and kind of give a perspective on it that hopefully will help you think about it a little bit. And so if you come in, please hit the thumbs up button, get comfortable, buckle up your seatbelt. We're going to get started on drboycetv.com right now.
Here we are, clan the isms, cataclysm, great. Our people out here struggling, trying to make it in this state. Everybody out here doing it, but we the ones too late. Now family, we the ones who gotta delegate. Get that money in the power, never be fake. Stick to co-sign for 3. What did he say? Create jobs, support our own. Educate the same and buy back your home. Got 3 degrees, triple 10. 3 PhDs, now we on the CNN. DBTV, let's talk about negligence. Ignorance is bliss, but we can turn it to intelligence. Believe none of what you hear, half of what you see. Let's break it down here on Dr. Boyce TV. Here we are.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to drboycetv.com, the home for intelligent Black people. My name is Dr. Boyce Watkins. If you could, please hit the thumbs up button as you come in. Thumbs up, share, subscribe. Let me know what city you're from. Hello, Yolanda and A. Grant, Mahalia Davis, Kathy Patterson, Smart Dog, Dion Rice, Wadia, B Boggs. I see you. Please hit the thumbs up button as you come in. Shout out the city that you come in. I see B Boggs is out of Fayetteville, North Carolina. Hello to you. And also, Jay says, I appreciate you. I'm an investor and property owner. Thanks to you. Well, that's good. That's good. Everybody give Jay a shout out. Say congratulations, brother. That's great because Jay isn't just doing something great for himself. He's doing something great for his children, grandchildren, great-grandchildren, and great-great-grandchildren. There are people in Jay's family who are not yet born who are going to owe their livelihoods to the fact that they had a visionary in their family by the name of great granddaddy Jay. So bless you, brother. I'm super proud of you. Anyway, and by the way, in fact, when we get done, remind me, I'll give you some dividend paying stocks that I like. I'll put that in the chat for you. I call them Dr. Boyce's dividend monsters. This will put some money in your pocket. And also, don't forget, we have the Stock Option Summit happening in LA on the 19th and 20th, where we get together as Black people, as a big fat family, and we just get together and we do stock options. I have a whole PhD in finance. Nobody else on the internet that I know of, none of the other people that teach options has a PhD. I have an understanding of it that goes very, very deep, and I like to explain it in a way that's going to help you and your family increase your income. If I don't help you do that, then I haven't done my job. But anyway, let's get back to it. Hit the thumbs up button, thumbs up, share, subscribe. Okay, so Donald Trump. Did anybody see Donald Trump and he went to Chick-fil-A in Atlanta? Did y'all see that? That was pretty funny. You know, you can always bond with some Black people over some damn chicken, right? So Trump shows up in a Chick-fil-A in Atlanta, and it goes viral for some reason. Apparently a fat guy eating chicken is national news, and he goes in, and what was really, I think, fascinating for a lot of people was just the imagery of it all. The imagery of Trump being, hugging and getting close up with lots of Black people in the city of Atlanta, and they're all bonding over chicken and talking about how great Trump is, and the media's mischaracterized him, and whatever. Okay, fine. Think what you want. Now, mind you, let's begin here. If you know anything about this platform, I don't care who you vote for. I really don't. I don't even care if you vote. I think you have a right to do whatever the hell you want. And I know some people get mad at me because they think I'm supposed to tell you what to do. I'm not going to do that. In fact, if I'm going to tell you to do anything, the only thing I'm going to tell you to do is do what's best for you. That's what I'm going to tell you to do. Tell me if that's okay for me to tell you. Here you go. So for the people who say, Dr. Boy, you got over 1 million followers. You need to be leading Black people to do this and telling them to do that. I'm like, okay, well, I cannot lie and tell you to do something that's not beneficial to you. I'm not going to do that. I cannot lie and sit here and tell you that voting for a Republican or voting for a Democrat is going to improve your life, because that would be some bullshit. That is not true. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to say, and tell me if it's okay if this is my official position. My official position is that I want you to go out and do what's best for you. Because tell me if you agree, these politicians are always going to do what's best for themselves. They're always going to do what's best for themselves. They're going to do what's best for the party. They're going to do what's best for each other, but they ain't never going to do what's best for black folks. None of them. None of them. So if you're here to be pro-Trump, then please just, save that bull crap for somebody else. If you're pro-Biden, put that in your pocket, man, because I ain't got time for that. I ain't got time for, I'm a mathematician by nature. I taught math at the University of Kentucky. And one thing about mathematics is that if you have a problem, you're supposed to solve it. You're not supposed to whine about it. You're not supposed to believe that it's going to get solved if you vote for the Democrats. You're not supposed to just sit and pray to white Jesus that the problem goes away. If you have a problem, you solve it. So I like kicking it with the problem solvers. I like kicking it with the people who are working in their own families to better their situation. I respect you immensely if you are a father raising your kids in a proper way. I respect you immensely if you are a mother who is investing for the future of her children. I respect you immensely if you're educating your own. I respect you immensely if you're making the right moves and making your marriage work and building your family. I respect that. I don't care about this political nonsense. Kennedy, RFK, he wanted it. Someone reached out and said he'd like to come on your channel and talk to you. I said, why? It's a waste of my time. I don't want to sit and listen to his squeaky voice for 2 hours. And also, I'd rather talk to my people about things that I know actually work. And one thing I can't prove beyond any reasonable doubt that has worked for the black community is voting for these damn politicians. Now, that's my position on it. I want to make that clear, because every time I talk about topics like this, people come in and start accusing me of being a Democrat or accusing me of being a Republican. Stop that nonsense. It's BS. Let's keep going. So Trump goes to Chick-fil-A. And he does his little thing with the chicken and the black people, and it just made, the black people, they love me. The black people, the blacks, they love me. All the blacks love me because I'm going to jail just like the blacks. I eat chicken just like the blacks, right? So Trump he does the chicken fest at Chick-fil-A, and the black people eat it up. And there's some girl here who was like hugging up on him and everything. I think that's kind of hilarious. Whatever. Okay, that's your guy. Nothing wrong with that. But here's the deal. So here's a video. I'm gonna share a video with you all that a brother did on Twitter, and I thought it was an interesting video. I think it's worth looking at. And this reflects what he is saying. He believes what was actually going on. So here's the video. So let me know if you can hear. Give me a yes in the chat if you can hear the audio. Here we go.
Better than Biden did, so I want to know that. This is Clark Atlanta, this is Spelman, this is Morehouse, this is Morris Brown, and all
Isn't that great?
So I don't care what the media tells you, Mr. Trump. We support you. Okay, 4 p.m. We've been 4 p.m.
Come here, let me give you a hug.
Please do.
This entire scene you see here in the Chick-fil-A in Atlanta, Georgia was staged and faked. The woman talking to Donald Trump's name is Michaela Montgomery, and she is the Blexit Foundation City Director for Atlanta, Georgia. Hold on. So what is Blexit? Blexit is basically a Trump supporter, black-founded nonprofit by Candace Owens and Brandon Tatum. But who owns Blexit? Hold on. So Blexit is backed by Turning Point USA, a racist conservative nonprofit aimed at Gen Z. But who runs Turning Point USA? Oh, look, the racist asshole Charlie Kirk is behind Turning Point USA, who once said, and I quote, Michelle Obama is among black women who steal a white person's slot. So what y'all not finna do is play on our faces with chicken and milkshakes, because that's what they think of you guys, black people, that they can put chicken and milkshakes and Donald Trump in your face with some black girl who's really working for Charlie Kirk and get y'all to vote. Stop playing with us. We not stupid.
Okay. So it's a good video, right? And it's very interesting to watch, and it was very informative. And basically, what the brother sounds like he's saying is he's making a connection between the young lady who organized everything. I don't have her name in front of me, but the sister that works with, she's apparently a Trump supporter in Atlanta, and she's an activist, and she's the one who pulled everything together. Her name, I'm looking for her name. I don't have her name in front of me. Daggone it. What? It's weird. They wrote a whole article about her, but they didn't put her name. Michaela Montgomery. There she is. So she founded a group called Conserve the Culture, and apparently they're recruiting black people for Trump. Okay, fine. No problem. It is what it is. And how many of you, when you saw this happen, how many of you felt that it was fake? Give me a yes if you thought it was fake. How many of you How many of you thought it was fake? And then give me a no if you thought that Donald Trump just happened to be rolling through the neighborhood and decided to stop at a Chick-fil-A that happened to be filled with black people who love him to death. How many of y'all think that was the case? How many of y'all thought that it was just organic and artificial, or not artificial, sorry, organic, and that he didn't plan on this happening, that he's just rolling through the hood and just say, hey, yo, let's stop and get a chicken sandwich right quick, and said, oh my God, the black people here, the blacks are here, right? How many of y'all think that that's what happened? What do you think? So the reaction that I would give to the brother that made that video, and I understand he was making some interesting connections, and I do agree with him on what he said about the Republicans. Charlie Kirk is a racist guy, in a lot of ways. The Republican response, if you're a black Republican, you need to check your party on their responses to things like DEI. The DEI conversation has gotten incredibly racist. And then also this whole we pledge allegiance to Israel thing doesn't make any sense. So that's very weird that the Republicans suddenly are showing that they're pretty much owned by the Zionists and not by the Jewish community. We're going to separate the two, but the Zionists pretty much put enough money in their pocket where their authenticity is really under question. You're really looking like a bunch of fakes right now. And that's just the honest to God truth. Okay. So let's so what are we offended by? We're offended by the fact that Trump uses chicken to appeal to black people. He also had his thing with the sneakers, and he also said black people relate to me because I've been charged with a crime. Okay, whatever. So Trump has been a prick. He's been a racist for a long time. There's nothing to really debate about that, in my opinion. Now I want to show you another video that involves a guy named Joe Biden. Now, Joe Biden is interesting because Joe Biden is a guy who also went to, how many of y'all, give me a yes or no if you remember, not too long ago, about 2 months ago, where Joe Biden went to a black family's house and he sat down and had dinner with this black family, and he was also eating chicken. How many of y'all remember that? How many of y'all remember Joe Biden showing up at this black family's house eating chicken? Give me a yes or no. How many of y'all remember all the times where Joe Biden has hung out with ignorant ass rappers who can't even spell their mama's name because he thinks that that's what black people relate to? Unfortunately, a lot of the Democrats, and Republicans, they'd rather talk to an ignorant rapper than to talk to someone in the black community who actually has solutions to the problems. They don't want to talk to smart black people because smart black people are a nuisance. Smart black people get on your nerves. Smart black people, they get in the way of your agenda. Sorry, let me cut this off. Sorry about that. Smart black people ask questions, and people that ask questions are troublemakers. People that ask questions, they get in the way of whatever it is that you're trying to do. So effectively, what you've really seen is a political system that pretty much appeals to whatever the lowest stereotypical denominator happens to be when it comes to African Americans. Whatever it is that makes you look the craziest, whatever it is that reflects what white media puts about us on television, whatever reflects our most ignorant reality tends to be what they gravitate towards. So whether it's chicken and watermelon, rap music, or stripper rappers, or violence, or sneakers, or whatever, they tend to think this is what black people want. And I know this very well. I still remember when I was, back in the day, 07, 08, 09, I remember going on to radio stations to talk about wealth building and investing. And I remember the urban radio stations would say that you really shouldn't talk about that because black people are not interested in stuff like that. They're not interested in intellectual topics. They're not interested in planning for their families. All they want to do is sit around, smoke weed, have sex, and just party and bullshit. That was literally the attitude that they had, is that black people inherently are incredibly ignorant and immature. That is the image that they have of you. So when they're trying to appeal to black people and they meet someone like me who says, I actually think for a living and I think a lot and I process things and I make plans and I strategize, they say, you're not realistic. You think you're uppity. I kid you not. I have been accused of black people of being uppity. And I'm like, what makes me uppity about wanting black people to be healthy? What makes me uppity about wanting our kids to learn how to fucking read? What makes me uppity about wanting us to invest for our families? What makes me uppity by saying a father should take care of his kids? What makes me uppity about saying that maybe we can do things a little bit different so we can actually have some real power in this thing? What's up? There's nothing uppity about that. Nothing at all. But there are people who literally like the fact that you have been portrayed by media as bottom dwellers. Chicken, rap music, basketball, sneakers, free crack pipes, whatever, right? That's what they think about when they think of black people. Now, let me show you another video. I hope it's the right one. And this is one of Joe Biden also showing up in an establishment and eating chicken with black people. So here it goes.
President Biden's team brought cookout food to the family's table and shared stories. Christian recorded the experience on his TikTok page and shared his greatest memories.
Here's your food, Mr. President. It's a pleasure serving you.
All right, man.
This is a very unique day, a very special day.
We got to eat dinner with Joe Biden. That's fire, like, the president's coming.
Thank you, man.
Thank you, sir.
Keep the faith.
Couldn't really believe that the president was coming to our house.
You coming to him?
Come on, man. This is a pain in the neck for you.
This is all great. So what we'd like to do is just come into our space.
Well, man, you got chicken fingers. You got the whole deal. I went the route of making sure I had the hamburger. So tell me about you guys. What you doing these days?
Why don't you share about your passion of sports?
I'm playing AAU basketball right now.
Are you really? Are you guard?
Yes, sir.
Now, what grade are you in?
7th grade.
7th grade.
Right now, I'm just doing basketball, playing guard on the JV team for my school.
How about in school? How y'all doing in school? Why don't you tell the president about the school?
Look at that. How about that? We're trying to win office. We're trying to get elected. So let's just show up at black people's houses and talk about chicken and basketball. There's nothing stereotypical about that. There's nothing weird about that. Oh, I got another Joe Biden clip I'd like for you to watch. I think you need to watch this. This is really interesting. Here it goes.
It doesn't matter whether or not the person that is accosting your son or daughter or my son or daughter, my wife, your husband, my mother, your parents. It doesn't matter whether or not they were deprived as a youth. It doesn't matter or not whether or not they had no background that enabled them to become socialized into the fabric of society. It doesn't matter whether or not they're the victims of society. The end result is they're about to knock my mother on the head with a lead pipe, shoot my sister, beat up my wife, take on my sons. So I don't want to ask what made them do this. They must be taken off the street. That's number one. Unless we do something about that cadre of young people, tens of thousands of them, born out of wedlock, without parents, without supervision, without any structure, without any conscience developing, because they literally, I yield myself 3 more minutes, because they literally have not been socialized. They literally have not had an opportunity. We should focus on them now. If we don't, they will, or a portion of them will, become the predators 15 years from now. And Madam President, we have predators on our streets that society has, in fact, in part because of its neglect, created. Again, it does not mean because we created them that we somehow forgive them or do not take them out of society to protect my family and yours from them. They are beyond the pale, many of those people. Beyond the pale. And it's a sad commentary on society. We have no choice but to take them out of society.
Did y'all hear that? Let me know if you understand why I played that clip. I played that clip because that's also Joe Biden. And here's the deal. I could probably play equally racist clips from Donald Trump as well. The difference between Biden and Trump is that Trump doesn't expect most of us to vote for him. He does not say, well, if you don't vote for me, then you ain't black. He's just this prick who's a Republican who's trying to steal enough black votes so he can win the election, and that's fine. That's whatever it is. Joe Biden's a guy that you vote for, and the reason I played that clip, and now that clip is 30 years ago, is because Joe Biden, if you notice, he was sitting there eating chicken and talking basketball with a broken black family. Now I don't know what happened with this family. I don't know where the mother was. I don't know anything about that, but I do know that. Do you understand how many tens of millions of black families were broken because of Joe Biden's policies in the 1990s? I mean, really, and some people, and what's interesting to me is that I'll hear people that will say, "Well, people can change, people can change." And this is actually, if you study Powernomics with us every Wednesday, you'll know that there's a history to this. Black people are trained to forgive everyone for everything. Somebody could literally slap your mama, beat your child, and murder your spouse, and you would still be looking for a reason to forgive them. You've been trained to think this way. And what I would say to people who say, "Well, maybe he's changed. He's not the same anymore." I would say, "Okay, well, you know what? Check this out. I've been talking the same type of talk for 30 years myself. If you go back, you could go back and find anything I wrote, anything I said in 1993, and it's at least 70 to 80% consistent with what I believe to this day. Sure, I have evolved. Sure, I have changed. But guess what? I was teaching finance in 1993. I'm teaching finance today. I was talking about investing in 1993. I'm talking about investing today. I was pro-black in 1993. I'm pro-black today. Ain't a damn thing really changed like that. Stop thinking that this man went from being a person who wanted to exterminate black youth. These people, he talked about these people that they come from single parent homes, these people that are from the inner cities. You know who the hell he was talking about. And so before you ask me to get mad because Donald Trump is doing whatever he's doing, then I need to understand why you think that Joe Biden is supposed to be my hero. Why I'm supposed to sit back and be okay with what this man did to the black community and to black people. That doesn't make any damn sense. Yes, it's crazy. Yes, it's silly. Yes, it's ridiculous. Yes, they will always show up and eat fried chicken and talk basketball and watermelon and hip hop with you because they know that it works. The studies show that it works. The studies show that they're appealing to black people like me does not get them enough votes because there aren't enough black people who are out here really trying to think, really trying to do better, really questioning things, whatever. They know what's going to get the vote. They show up at the strip club with a bucket of chicken and a Gucci bag, or they tell you, I keep hot sauce in my bag like Beyonce. We know people are going to respond. Or Trump had what he called the platinum plan. He said, I'm going to call it the platinum plan because the blacks are like the blacks. I really love the blacks. That's why he's selling sneakers. That's why he's doing all the silly stuff that he's doing, because he's pandering to what he thinks that you believe. You see, their reaction to you is a reflection of what they think about you. You do understand that, right? You do understand that the way they deal with you is a direct reflection of how they perceive you. If they respected you, if they saw you as a community that was enlightened and intelligent and progressive and thoughtful, they would approach you that way. They wouldn't be trying to have interviews with Cardi B and rappers and all this other stuff. They'd be talking to the smart people. But they don't see you as one of the smart people. They say, no, you give them a bucket of chicken and some sneakers and a couple of hippity hop records. They'll all come and vote for you. And it ain't and there's no party. This is what do they call that? Across party lines. This is a unanimous across party lines. This is not this is bipartisan. That's what is it bipartisan? Yeah, this is bipartisan in that we all believe that black people are goofy and unintelligent and will vote for you for a bucket of chicken and a welfare check. That's how they perceive us. And so because here's the deal. Look, I don't know who this lady is, who's the smiling black lady next to Donald Trump. I'm sure she supports him for reasons that are consistent with who she is. And I think that that's perfectly okay. I really do. Let's just keep it 100. Look, a lot of my Republican friends are people who don't believe in things like abortion. I happen to think abortion is a problem because somebody told my mother to abort me. That offends me. I think I deserve to have a chance to live. So I'm not going to support something like that. Not because not for any reason other than the fact that it's in my own self-interest. I don't support rampant immigration into the country. I think that's a threat to national security. It also hurts Black people from an economic standpoint because you don't understand economics. If you understood economics the way I do, you would realize that the reason the economy is booming is because the labor supply has spiked. And the labor supply has spiked because you have millions of people from other countries that are coming to take a lot of jobs. And what happens then is because the labor supply has spiked, wages have not gone up. So your bosses are not going to pay you anymore. Inflation is through the roof. The price of everything will keep going up, but the only thing that won't keep going up is your salary, because now they got 1 million people, 2 million, 5 million, millions of people coming in every month from other countries that are ready to take your job and do it for half of the pay. That's what's going on. And people like Donald Trump benefit from that. People like Joe Biden benefit from that. People like Boyce Watkins benefit from that, because I'm a stock investor. And I've told you all that this is why I believe every Black person should be buying stock, because this country's economics is way off balance. They do not support workers the way that they should. And this is bipartisan. This is true with Republicans and Democrats. Donald Trump is a big, fat, greasy ass billionaire out of New York. What in the hell makes you think he gives a damn about your interests? What world do you live in where you think this guy really relates to you and really, really cares about you? He might be cool with you. He might be down with you. He's been down with Black people for a long time. You can go through the internet search right now. You'll find pictures of Trump with Al Sharpton. You'll find pictures of Trump with Diddy. You'll find pictures of Trump with rappers. You'll find all kinds. You'll find rappers rapping about how they want to be the Black Donald Trump. So it wasn't until he became a Republican that all these people started distancing themselves. And the reason that that's kind of a weird thing to me is because since when did a political party have the right to tell you who your friends can be? That's what I don't understand. Why in the world? Who in the world led the Democrats to somehow literally feel entitled and comfortable making statements like, well, if you don't vote for me, then you ain't Black? That's ownership. That's pimping. Like that is not cool at all. And if you think that that's okay, then I feel kind of bad for you. So no, I'm not here to defend Donald Trump. I'm here to tell you that you could get him elected 20 times in a row. This man ain't gonna make your life better. The only thing he might do is he might give you some of those symbolic things that you're looking for. Maybe he'll be tougher on the immigration issue. Maybe he'll be tougher on things like abortion or whatever. Right? Again, with Joe Biden is the guy who's going to champion things like diversity, equity, and inclusion, which I happen to support. Right? Joe Biden also is affiliated with a political party that has a little bit of a better history of caring about the vulnerable in our society, children and the poor. I'd like that too. So I don't hate any of that. It's a matter of you making your own decision. And what really I think you have to be careful about if you're Black is this political extremism where you falsely correlate your race to your political party. See, the reason that offends me is because what you're doing is you're taking the pain of racism, you're taking the pain of oppression, and you're packaging it carefully so that you can trigger Black folks by referencing that pain and saying, see, that pain exists because you voted for the Democrats. Because the Democrats, they running a big plantation, and the Democrats, they using you since like they've been using you since slavery. And you're like, yeah, well, I don't want nobody using me. I want to be free, so I'm gonna go be a Republican. Yeah, you go over and try to become a Republican. Try to go hang out with Charlie Kirk and see how long he wants to be around your Black ass. Charlie Kirk, these other people. I forgot the other one, Ben Shapiro. I used to have the same publicist as Ben Shapiro. These people are arrogant pricks. They don't give a damn about you. They don't have any concern for the challenges of the Black community. The only people that are gonna do right by Black folks will have to be Black folks. Charlie Kirk ain't gonna do it. Joe Biden ain't gonna do it. That's just the reality. So if you're trying to really advocate for the Black community and improve the Black community, then your focus should be on the Black community. And I don't think that it is worth our time to get overly engaged in the political footballs that get thrown back and forth every 4 years. Every time an election is on the way, that's when they start showing up in black neighborhoods. They start going on to black radio shows. They start popping up in a local Chick-fil-A. Next thing you know, they'll be at some Beyonce concert handing out free watermelon, and we'll get all excited like, oh, but I got to vote for him because he keep hot sauce in his bag. He wearing Jordans. Oh, he really black. You know he really black. He got on Jordans and he got hot sauce and he was at the barbecue. Man, all that stuff is silly to me. It's silly. It's immature. It's immature. And I get it. I get it. There's always going to be the children in the group. There's always going to be the sheep. And in fact, I even would dare to say that people like myself might be in the minority. And I'm okay being there because a lion doesn't follow the sheep. A lion does not follow sheep. I am a lion. That's what I've always been. I do not give a damn what the sheep are doing. Really, at the end of the day, all I'm doing is I'm speaking to other people that want to be lions, or at least people that want to get away from the sheep. That's who I'm talking to. I'm not talking to everyone. I'm not talking to the masses. I'm not trying. This is not a popularity contest. I'm not trying to convince people to change their mind. I'm simply trying to preach to the choir and tell you all what I am seeing. So when this brother did this video, and he shows that the whole Trump thing was fake, and he says you can't bribe us with chicken and whatever, chicken and milkshakes, and you can't play us like that. I'm like, well, who's playing you then? Because if you're telling me that my solution is to go over with you and stand next to Joe Biden, well, then I can't do that because you're getting played too, sir. You're getting played too, because Joe Biden led one of the greatest mass exterminations in human history when he decided to do mass incarceration against black people. You clearly don't understand what it's like to have a loved one get 20 or 30 or 40 years in prison when what they did really wasn't all that horrible. They possessed some crack because they were trying to make some extra money. Yeah, they should be punished, maybe 2 years, maybe 5 years, maybe even 10. But when you got people in jail right now that been locked up since 1994, what in the hell makes you think that that's okay? What in the hell makes you think that's even a forgivable offense? That is not forgivable. So Joe Biden, in my view, is not forgivable. And if you want to really go deep into it, maybe Donald Trump in many cases is not forgivable. I just really think that we have to have intelligent political conversations. And one of those discussions needs to be that we need to realize that votes are not getting us where we want to get to. In fact, politics involves some of the dumbest conversations I have ever seen in my life. I don't want to sound mean, but the conversations get so stupid. Like when you're sitting here telling me that I'm supposed to be offended because the Republicans want to change voter ID laws. I'm like, why? Well, because some black folk don't know how to get no ID. We don't always know how to get no ID. And the Republicans trying to stop us from voting because they tell them we need an ID. I'm like, what black person do you know who can't get a damn ID? Whoever they are, tell them to call me and I'll show them where the DMV is located and give them a ride. Like, are you serious right now? No. The voter ID laws are not for you. They're not for you. They're for illegal immigrants. They're for people who are undocumented. That is not for you. So they got you doing other people's dirty work. They got you carrying water for other people. They have you participating and contributing to your own demise. It's crazy to me. It doesn't make any sense. If you're going to have a conversation with me, talk to me about economics. Talk to me about black people owning businesses, and don't even talk to me about jobs, because jobs don't benefit black people. Jobs benefit white business owners. Jobs don't help you. Jobs have never helped your wealth. There's no evidence of that. Your wealth is going down. You got all the jobs in the world. Everybody in here done had a damn job. And all y'all got all these damn jobs and all these degrees, and ain't none of your wealth going up. Something's wrong. Something's broken. Something ain't working. So don't tell me about no jobs. Talk to me about black-owned businesses. Talk to me about access to capital. Don't talk to me about better schools run by white people who are going to continuously miseducating black kids. Show me how black men can own a damn school. Go to Freedom Home Academy International in Chicago, where they are educating black children at a very high level, and go to Marcus Klein, the president of that school, and give him $100 million so he can really do the damn job. That's what's going to impress me. I don't want to hear about Miss Sally coming from the suburbs and getting a pay raise so she can just shuffle our kids through schools where they're going to learn everything about a boy turning into a girl, but don't know the difference between a vowel and a syllable. don't know the difference between the letter Q and the number 8. But they know everything about a boy turning into a girl, and you didn't even ask them to teach you that. And you try to tell me that there ain't no agenda in this school system. They got a big agenda. So I will just tell you, at the end of the day, this is goofy. This is silly. This is a show. It's ridiculous. It's every bit as ridiculous as a hip hop battle. It's as ridiculous as two grown men fighting over whether or not the Dallas Cowboys are better than the New York Giants. And Jerry Jones ain't wrote neither one of y'all Negroes a check. But you're gonna fight your friend over whether or not the Cowboys are better than the New York Giants. Grow up, please. Grow up. It's weak. It's very weak. This is not black power. There's nothing about any of this. There's nothing about being a cheerleader for the Democrats or a cheerleader for the Republicans that indicates any form of significant black power that will give us anything other than what we've gotten for the last 50 years. And the reason that I'm confident in making this statement is because I know not a damn person listening can prove me wrong. Because every single study shows that since integration, black people are worse educated than we were before. Our families are broken up more than they were before. Our wealth is going down. What more evidence do I need to convince you that you need to try a different strategy? You need to apply your energy in a different way. So yes, was the Trump thing in Chick-fil-A manufactured and fake? Of course it is. He's running for president. He can't just roll up in a Chick-fil-A and start hugging people. Was Joe Biden's little chicken visit with the black family artificial and manufactured? Of course it was. He can't just walk up in somebody's house and sit down for dinner. That's what politicians do. So what I'm trying to hopefully persuade you of is that you got to stop having faith in these people. Stop waiting for Superman when you got everything that you need to save yourself inside yourself. Everything that you need to be great is right inside of you. And you keep looking to these false leaders as your pathway to success. You know where and then you look at fake black leaders, these horrible civil rights organizations, as some type of leadership for the black community. You know, the greatest black leaders in the black community are the people that are inside your house. The greatest black leader you'll ever meet is the one that's in the mirror. The black leaders in our community that I respect are the ones that are deeply connected to the problem to the point where they are doing what is required to fix it. So if you are breaking generational curses in your family, you are a black leader. If you are raising a black child to be appropriate and strong and successful in this world, then you are a black leader. If you are a father out here hustling, doing your best and providing and loving a black woman and protecting other people around you, you are a damn great black leader. If you are a coach, a counselor, a teacher going the extra mile, the nurse who's loving black men and women when they come into the hospital, if you're out here really doing your best and trying to make things better in the space that you're in, you are a black leader. Black leadership needs to change. Black leadership must evolve. Black leadership needs to go from the super Negro model, where there's one guy that sits up and calls himself King Kong consciousness, or I'm the black leader of the community, or I represent the black community, while he's sitting up there with a perm and talking loud and doing a lot of yapping and ain't getting nothing done. That's not black leadership. That model needs to go out the window, because that is the type of leadership that exists amongst people that don't have any self-esteem. Black leadership needs to occur by committee. Black leadership needs to be something where there is an idea. It must become bigger than a man or bigger than a woman. It must become an idea, and that idea must be embodied in all the people who understand what that looks like. Now I'm gonna finish on this point, and I told you all I would give you some stocks that I like that pay dividends so that you have something to invest in. That's another type of black leadership. That will be called black financial leadership. I want to support you in that goal. Remember that when you measure progress for black people, to make it very simple, I start with 3 key areas: health, wealth, and relationships. That's how you measure quality of life. So I say to myself, are black people mentally and physically healthier than we were 40 years ago? Yes or no? Would you say that we're mentally and physically healthier? Are you mentally healthier when you get up every day and you go and work for white people and your culture's in the toilet and you got to watch stuff like the BET Awards that got pregnant women twerking with tattoos and all this other chaos that's happening in the community? Somebody's getting shot in every neighborhood on every block every week. Does that make you mentally healthier or less mentally healthy? Physical health. Are we physically healthier than we were before integration, where we're eating all this commercialized processed food, where over half of us are going to die of cancer at some point? Half of us are going to die of cancer, obesity rates through the roof, heart disease, strokes, diabetes, big mama getting her foot cut off, all kinds of chaos happening with our health. Are we healthier physically than we were before? Yes or no? Well, let's go to wealth. Wealth is measured primarily in cash flow and assets. Do Black people feel financially secure? Are we more financially secure than we've ever been? Do we feel like we have enough assets in our families? Are we keeping our wealth or giving our wealth away? Do we feel that our income is as high as it needs to be? Has there been any progress in the racial wealth gap in the last 20 or 30 years? Or do we consistently remain at the bottom? We consistently remain at the bottom. When you look at any wealth measure and you put white people up there with Asian people and Hispanic people and then Black people are always at the bottom. We're like that football team that always ends up at the bottom of the league. We're like the Dallas Cowboys, where you know that they're always going to lose in the first round of the playoffs. That's what the problem is. A lot of us don't even get to the damn playoffs. And so ultimately, when it comes to wealth, we have been losing. We have been losing. And the reason we have been losing is because we are following strategies given to us by people who want us to lose. And then we have the people that want us to lose are appointing losers that we're then following, and we believe that the losers are really the winners. And these would be the celebrities and the rappers and all these other people that are incredibly ignorant, nothing but big minstrel shows, big buffoonish clowns, 35, 40-year-old men walking around with their pants sagging, thugged out, 85 tattoos, can't even articulate a damn word, don't have no respect for women, high and drunk all the damn time, sounding like a damn idiot. And these become the people that you follow, and then you wonder why you keep losing. You lose because you're following losers. You're following losers, and then the losers are being selected by the winners. The winners are picking losers to lead other losers, and then everybody ends up losing because you don't know what Black leadership is supposed to look like. You don't. Well, let's go to relationships. That's the third category of quality of life. Are Black families and Black relationships better than they've ever been? Are Black men and Black women getting together in droves and getting married and forming families and raising healthy children together? Or do we have this insane amount of chaotic immaturity and extreme dysfunction where people can get together long enough to fucking make a baby, but can't stay together long enough to even wait till the baby's born? You literally hate your baby's mama before your child is born, and no man ever got in your face and said, Negro, what is wrong with you? How on earth can you stand around and talk crazy about the mother of your children? What in the world makes you talk crazy about your baby daddy, but you chose him to make a child with? You do understand that every time you speak negative on your child's father, you're speaking negative on your child. You're hurting your child. So you think that you love and you're protecting your child by talking crazy about their father, but really you must hate your child because you're talking bad about the person from which that child came. That does not help your child's self-esteem. And nobody really sat you down and taught you how to be mature enough and disciplined enough. They taught you how to react. Everything's on emotion and how I feel right now. And nobody's thinking about the future. Nobody's looking and saying, gosh, what happens to this little 5-year-old who's got to sit here every day and watch his mother talk crazy about his daddy, or sit here and watch his daddy sit around and talk crazy about his mother? We don't even learn these things. Our relationships, some of them are crazy to me. And the problem is, again, the losers that you follow that are appointed by the winners, the white people are winning. Collectively, not all of them, but collectively they're winning. They're the power brokers. So the winners choose the losers, and then other losers follow those losers because those losers are misrepresented as black leaders. So you look up and you see your favorite rapper, and your favorite rapper, when you ask him about his kids, he's like, well, I heard a rapper say this. He's like, well, I don't really like kids, and I don't really like being a dad. I don't like these little motherfuckers, and I don't even like their mamas either. Like, I've heard rappers say that. And so really, you're teaching all these young men that there's nothing sacred about being a father, nothing sacred about making a child with a woman, that they don't understand the basic essential for your survival is that you should love the people that are allowing your DNA to exist in the next generation. You have to at least show some basic respect, because every time you disrespect your child's mother, you're disrespecting yourself. You make yourself look like a damn clown when you out here talking crazy about your child's mother. Sure, you can complain. Sure, you can get mad. You can get a little bit frustrated. But at the end of the day, that human being has to be sacred because you made her sacred. You chose her. You chose her to make it. That's your seed. That's the only piece of you that gets to survive to the next generation. And she gave that to you. You can't even thank her for that. You can't even show any appreciation for that. You picked so badly that you literally have nothing good to say about this person that is really one of the most significant human beings in your life. I don't know why nobody talks about this. I just don't. I don't know. It just bothers me. Because it's really the key to so many problems that we have. Most of your problems can be linked back. Most of the dysfunction, most of the suffering that happens in the black community can be linked to one of those three areas: health, wealth, or relationships. Either your mental and physical health is out of control, or your money ain't right and you're stressed about it, or your relationships are jacked up and you're spending all your time fighting each other instead of actually figuring out how to get along. So when somebody comes along and they have a healthy approach to these things, we don't honor that person. We make fun of that person. We clown them. We call them a simp. Russell Wilson shows up and he takes over for a fake man. He takes over for an unmasculine man named Future, who made a baby with Sierra and dumped the baby and didn't even do anything for the child. He steps in as a real masculine man and takes up for that child, and people start calling him a simp. That's how dysfunctional you are. Or you see J. Cole gets into a rap battle with Kendrick Lamar. Kendrick Lamar tries to start a beef that could escalate into something worse. J. Cole says, you know what? I'm sorry. I respect you. And I apologize for anything I did to offend you. He seeks to repair the relationship, and then people get mad. You ain't supposed to repair with another black man. You're supposed to destroy him. Black relationships aren't supposed to be healthy. They're supposed to be dysfunctional. And the reason that you need to think about this carefully is because people that don't have support when it comes to relationships, who have unhealthy relationships, whose wealth is bad, whose physical and mental health are bad, those are the people who are the most vulnerable for slavery. It's easy to pimp somebody who is unstable. It's easy. It's not easy to pimp somebody who's doing well. And so we get pimped by racist white folks. We get pimped by Democrats. We get pimped by Republicans. We get pimped by the capitalists. We get pimped because we're unstable. Do you understand what I'm saying? I can't, if I'm a pimp and I'm looking for a little girl that's going to be under my control, I can't really pimp the girl who is healthy and wealthy and has a strong relationship with her family. That's not the kind of girl that I would seek out if I'm a pimp. No, if I'm a pimp, I'm going to look for the girl who has a bad relationship with her family, who's mentally and physically unhealthy, who's not financially stable. That is the person who's most vulnerable. So at the end of the day, I really think when I look at the political shenanigans and I look at people presenting false ideas that they falsely claim will lead to false solutions for the black community, I just kind of feel bad. I feel bad for people that fall for this stuff. And maybe I have some kind of keen insight. I mean, I'm not a dumb guy. I have some education, and maybe that makes me see things different. But I can just tell you that a lot of this stuff is bullshit. It's a bunch of BS. Lead your damn self. You don't need Donald Trump to lead you. You don't need Joe Biden to lead you. If you see me in public, do not come up and talk to me about who you're going to vote for. Tell me what you're going to do in your life. Tell me what you're doing with your kids. Tell me what you're doing with your power. Because I already know what the politicians are going to do. The politicians are going to be politicians. You got to let a hoe be a hoe. A politician's going to be a hoe. They're going to do whatever they're going to do. They're going to pimp themselves out for money. They're going to do all kinds of ridiculous stuff to destroy the country. They're going to keep the white folks are going to keep on being white. I don't want to know what Trump is going to do. I don't want you to tell me what Biden's going to do. I need you to tell me what you're going to do. And I think that central focus on ourselves and each other and our families is what's going to get us where we want to get to. That's what I believe. Now I want to say thank you all for listening. I appreciate it very, very much. And also, one thing I can mention is I mentioned to you all that I would give you a list of dividend stocks. I call them dividend monsters that represent stocks that pay good dividends that you guys can feel free to go take a look at. This is not investing advice, just me sharing something that I hope will help you in your journey. I believe that one of the most critical things that Black folks need to do is we have to invest. We have to invest. We have to invest for the future. And so I'm looking here. Here we go. Here's the list. I'm going to grab this link and I'm going to share this with you. I'm going to put this in the chat right now. So feel free to take this list and do with it as you wish. Again, investing does always come with risk. So I want you to make sure you understand that. But this is something that you can just do that can be a good long-term investment for your family. So here's the list right here. Also, text the word stock to 87948. If you text stock to 87948, I'll send you profit alerts periodically on stocks that I like. That's the best thing I know how to do. I know finance very, very well. And the best way I can contribute to this problem that I just described is to offer my financial expertise. And we do financial consciousness training every single morning in the Black Business School at 10 a.m. Eastern. It's totally free to anybody that wants to join live. And you can go text the word morning to 87948 and join us for free. Just text morning to 87948. And here's one more link if you want to take a look. We're doing a stock options summit in Los Angeles on the 19th and 20th. If you'd like to join us for the Stock Options Summit, just go to stockoptionssummit.com. That's stockoptionssummit.com. So please hit the thumbs up button, thumbs up, share, subscribe. This podcast is on Spotify and Apple. You can look up my name there. Also, if you'd like to get a copy of my book, The 10 Commandments of Black Economic Power, you can go to drboycebooks.com. We also have financial flashcards for children and a lot of other tools that can help you. So take care, guys. Have a great day. God bless you. I'll see you soon. Peace.
Here we are, clan the isms, cataclysm great. Our people out here struggling, trying to make it in this state. Everybody out here doing it, but we the ones who late. Now family, we the ones who gotta delegate. Get that money in the power, never be fake. Stick to co-sign for 3. What did he say? Create jobs, support our own. Educate the same and buy back your home. Got 3 degrees, triple 10. 3 PhDs, now we on the CNN. DBTV, let's talk about negligence. Ignorance is bliss, but we can turn it to intelligence. Believe none of what you hear, half of what you see. Let's break it down here on Dr. Boyce TV. Here we are.